Hello and good morning, friends. I am fairly positive that I did not remember to film an intro for this video. Maybe I will do it later and insert it, and then we can completely skip this clip. But if you didn't see one and you're seeing this instead, that's why. So I decided to participate in the Summerween reading experience this year. It is hosted by Gabby Reads and Olivia Reads a Latte. I think this is the third or fourth year that they've put it on, but I've never actually participated. I've always been on the sidelines, just chilling, watching everyone have a great old time. So it is a week-long readathon from the 15th to the 20, I should have been more prepared, July 15th through the 21st. And it's basically, we're celebrating spooky season in the summertime, and I decided that I am going to read some of these digital titles that I have not read yet. Not all of them are horror. I actually have no idea what I plan on reading at the time of filming this, but we're gonna figure some stuff out because I want to start tonight. So the prompts are super simple. There's only 5 of them, and then there's also some prompts for the Instagram side. So the reading prompts are: read a book in the dark, at night, with lights off, just in darkness, and we're gonna do that one today, or tonight. Read a book with Halloween colors on the cover. Read a slasher. Read a book with haunt in the title. I think that one is going to be the most difficult, but we're going to do some digging and see what we can find. And bake or make a treat with your spooky read. That might be the actual hardest thing, and then finding haunt in the title is going to be the other one. Because your girl doesn't bake. Definitely don't bake. I cook. I don't bake. Bank? I definitely bank. I need my monies. I don't bake. But we're gonna make it happen. I just gotta figure out what we're gonna do. It's gonna be something super simple, knowing me. I don't know how many things I'm going to read. I want to read at least 3, but we'll see what we can pack into this week. So this whole week is dedicated to just Summerween stuff. Small disclaimer: there is a 100% chance that some of these reads will be of the scan variety, if you will. I'm of the camp that if it's not available in English, I have no problem whatsoever reading a scan version. I'm definitely not a fan of scans because they don't always happen one-to-one translation-wise. I really wanted to read Pumpkin Night, but the translation is just not the best, and I can't find another one. So one day I'll get around to reading it, but we're gonna figure out what to read. The next clip should be me getting cozy in the bed, getting spooktified tonight, and reading something in the dark, and I'm going to take you guys along with me.
Many hours later.
check-in time. So last night I read 8.1 Yamada Yusuke Gekiju. I'm probably saying that wrong. Here's the cover. And it is a short story horror collection. It was okay, nothing too crazy or fancy. So the first story was essentially a death game. These people go on a roller coaster and they get to the top and they're like, welcome to the death coaster, or whatever. And they have to hold on. So you know, on roller coasters you have the thing that comes over you, like the safety rail or whatever that you hold on to. Well, their seats fall out from underneath them and all they have is the safety rail. Now they can only, and when the seat falls, the safety rail goes up. So they're like hanging on like this. They're not allowed to climb up on the safety rail. If they do, they get shot from the sky. And the last one hanging wins. What do they win? They don't say. I guess they just win the will to live. Why is this happening? They don't say why, but it's a short story, so I'm not expecting them to give me too much detail on that fact. It was okay. I think it had potential to be a series. I wish it was a little bit longer so I could kind of, figure out some of these characters, but I mean, they start dropping pretty quickly and we don't spend a whole lot of time with these people, so I'm not attached to them, therefore I don't care about them. It is what it is. The second story was about a haunted urn, and basically the legend is if you sprinkle this dead person's ashes on someone, it will kill them. And these two girls decide to go to the graveyard and check it out. I didn't understand this story at all, and I didn't like it. The third one is a soccer game, so to speak, but you fight to the death. Basically, you're on a soccer field and it's Team A and Team B. They're going against each other. And in order to be considered the MVP of your team, after the opposing team has been wiped out, you chop off someone's head and you kick it into a goal. Now that sounds pretty morbid, and it is, but you know what? I actually enjoyed this story because there's more to it. I'm not going to get into it in case you want to read it, but of the three that we've talked about so far, this one was the favorite. Then we have the baby tunnel story. Basically, it's about a haunted tunnel. This couple try to get rid of their baby. It's a local legend. They try to get rid of their baby in the tunnel. They end up crashing their car, and now the baby haunts the tunnel. Ooh, it's okay. The ending was expected, I will say that, but overall it was just an okay story, nothing special. Now my favorite of the entire storyline, of the entire book, of the entire manga, whatever you want to call it, this is about a guy, and he's weird. He's into death and morbid things. He likes to take pictures of dead animals on his phone or car accidents. We all know someone like that, right? Anyway, he's walking down the street minding his business one day, and this little girl runs up to him and it's like, I need your help, please help me, oh my gosh, I'm so scared, there's something scary in the forest. And he gets there and it is a dead body, and the story takes off from there. I thoroughly enjoyed this one. I really wish this one would have been a series because I think it had potential to do great things. The ending was very nice as well, and there's not too much more I can say about that one without spoiling it. And then the last one was more, it wasn't really a horror story, it was more of a thriller. It is about a guy who somehow ends up in this car, and the car is driving itself. Well, there's a person controlling it, and the goal is for him to get the car to the finish line without stepping on the brakes. If he steps on the brakes, these people have kidnapped his girlfriend, and if he even taps the brake checks, anything, she's getting killed. Sounds easy, right? No. There's obstacles in the way that he has to duck and dodge. Also, he is strapped up to a heart rate monitor. So the more his heart rate goes up, the faster the car goes. Now, the car doesn't slow back down if he can, you know, calm himself down. No, if his heart jumps from 85 to 134, then the car is also jumping up to 134. And even if he gets some woosah in his life and just meditates it back on down to a cool 70, it's too late. It's still, what'd I say, 135? Anyway, so he's having to deal with that. He's ducking and dodging. It reminds me of this book, and I can't think of the name of it right now, that I read. It's by John Mars, who I love dearly. And I guess that mixed with speed. Yeah. But it wasn't horrifying at all. It was definitely a thriller. It was an okay read. But my favorite, for sure, was the creepy guy that comes across the dead body. And then secondly, the, I guess, battle royale, but make it soccer. I don't know what to call it. They all have title names, but I just can't be bothered to go back and look. Anyway, I read those all last night. I've come to realize that I think I've bitten off a bit more than I can chew. Did I even show y'all? I don't even think I showed y'all the TBR that I want to attempt, but I gave myself 7 days to read 6 series, and realistically that's just not possible, you know. But I'll show you what I plan on reading and we'll see where I get. So I also plan on reading, I'll just read them off and insert photos here. I plan on reading Death Sweeper, Ibitsu, Kudon no Gotoshi, Signal 100, The Strongest Haunted House, and The Guy with No Spiritual Sense. I have no idea why that title is so long, but... And Daichi Gokujo Chi Daruma Rikishi. Yeah, I'm sure I said that wrong too. I have no idea what the English translation is for any of these titles, because there aren't any English translations for any of these series, but it's okay. Hi, Editing Dags here. So the Daichi title that I couldn't pronounce, it's actually called The Perpetual Cycle of Revenge and Other Stories of the Incredible Sumoisis. I don't know how to say this word. Anyway, that will make a lot more sense later on in this video. You're welcome. So yeah, I got 8.1 out of the way, and I plan on reading Daichi. We're just gonna call it Daichi because I'm not finna keep butchering this name. I plan on reading this tonight. It is a short story collection, but this one I don't think is supposed to be too horrific, but it's about samurai. It's only 7 chapters. The first 5 are called The Great Hell Castle, so I'm sure that's going to be a little creepy, maybe. And then the other story is The Legend of Great Sumo Soul. So yeah, I plan on reading that tonight. I had a extremely long day at work today, and I am tired. So I'm probably going to eat some din din. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do for this treat prompt, because I have no clue, and I want it to be, I don't want to make like cupcakes or cookies or anything like sweet, because I'm not huge on sweets. I do have a HelloFresh box coming tomorrow, and it's my first time trying it, so that has nothing to do with the prompt or anything. I just wanted to share that tidbit of information for some reason. So I may or may not bring y'all into the kitchen tomorrow just to cook, just to see if we can be Chef Boyard Dags or something. I don't know. But yeah, I'm going to go eat some dinner, go take a shower, go tend to my puppy, probably fold some laundry that just never seems to end, and get myself ready for tomorrow's work day. And then we can, by then, cozy up and read this next story. So I probably won't check in tonight. It's probably going to be another one of those, oh, let's check in before we run to work. If not, then I will see you in the afternoon. Okay? Sounds good? You'll be here? I'll be here. Will you be here? Okay. We're going outside. Come on. Y'all, this has been the longest day of my life. The longest, hey, day of my life. Come on, Cooper. Come on. Listen. I was coming out here, but it's too bright. I'll be back for you, Coop. Listen. Today's just not my day, okay? First of all, I was supposed to come check in with y'all and I didn't. That's cool. No big deal. Whatever, right? Work was crazy. I won't go into detail about that, but work was crazy. Let's start with, I was late for work. I'm never late. I'm a 10 minutes early is on time type of person. I was late for work this morning. Hi, Editing Dags here again. What I failed to tell you was the reason why I was late for work, and that's because there was a dead cat in my driveway. And at first, I thought it was just a cat lounging, sleeping, and it was just looking over its shoulder to see who was coming out the door. But no, that neck was snapped all the way to the back. And that's just not how I want to start my day. Okay? The poor kitty, rest his little kitty soul. May he be running in a field of catnip or whatever cats like. I don't know much about cats. But it's just not the first thing that you want to see when you try to start your morning, you know? So, yeah. But not late enough to not stop by Starbucks and get some coffee, because I had a rough night last night. So I'm like, I gotta get some coffee to get through this day, right? And then I was like, oh, this could be a nice little, pick me up for the day. We can turn this morning around, right? No, I get all the way to work. My workload is 3 times what it normally is, but you know what? This too shall pass. Things happen. It is what it is. Then I turn around too fast in my chair. I swivel in my chair. I don't know why I'm sitting in the dark. I just walked in the house and started recording. I swivel in my chair and knock my coffee over. All over the floor. All over my desk. All over me. Okay, your girl was smelling like a salty caramel brew, cold brew, for the entirety of the day today. So I was upset about that because I just wanted a little taste of liquid sunshine to turn my morning around, okay, and to get me through my day. But no, I was denied that as well. And then I got some news yesterday, which I forgot to bring up. It doesn't matter. But the reason why I couldn't really get a good night's rest last night was because of something that happened the night before. And yeah, so that's been in the back of my head all day today too. And okay, full disclosure, when I get in my little moods, when I'm stressed and just need a little bit of happiness, I go buy myself something nice, kind of like what I was trying to do with my coffee. It's dark in here. Alexa, turn on the light. Alexa, turn on the light.
Okay.
She said okay and then turn on the light. The world is against me today. Anyway, so I have been having this urge to just get on Amazon today or write stuff or something. And just buy me some manga, buy something, but that's not the answer to my problems. And I'm trying to cut back on spending, y'all. I've already spent more money this month than I wanted to, and here we are. So I can't spend any money. I'm not allowing myself to spend money. It's not that serious. It's in the past. We can move on. It's just been a long day. It's just been a long day. And I guess I'm just kind of venting at this point. Listen, y'all aren't here for my daily woes, okay? You're here for the manga review. So let's talk about whatever the hell I read last night. Oh yeah, I didn't finish it. Okay, so I can tell you about the first couple of stories. I read Daichi, the Daichi joint we were talking about. This one right here. I read all except for the last story, and the last story looked like it was probably going to be the most interesting. But there's 3 stories in here. I think when I first talked about it, I said there was 2. There's actually 3. One revenge story about a samurai. The second one is about a sumo wrestler, and I believe the third one is about a sumo wrestler as well. But we're gonna part 2 this bad boy, and we'll talk about that one later. So the first story, like I said, is a revenge samurai story. It was pretty decent. The guy is trying to get revenge for his family. I was not a fan of the artwork. It's very, I don't know, rigid, sketchy, sketch-like. Some of them is kind of hard to see what's going on, but it's all good. Overall, the story was a little hard to follow for me, but to be fair, I was mentally distracted, so that I'm not going to put that on the manga. I did enjoy the story overall. It was one of those things where I kind of understood what was going on. I understood it just enough to get to the end of the story. And then when I sat down and thought about it, I'm like, well, that's a pretty dope story. I loved the ending of it. That was the best part. The second story is about a sumo wrestler that is too strong for his own good. I don't know how to talk about this one without spoiling it either, but it was okay. I think it is either a true story or it is about a real person. I'm not sure. I went down a sumo wrestler rabbit hole last night too. And I ain't gonna act like I didn't sit there and watch a couple of matches. Like, you know how you start to look up one thing and then you end up on the dark side of YouTube. It was one of those kind of moments, but I didn't end up on the dark side of YouTube. I just wanted to see if this was a real person, because the way it reads, it sounds like they're talking about a real person. And then I was watching sumo wrestler videos. Anywho, I don't know if there's any sumo connoisseurs out there, but the guy's name, Yasuke Mushashino. And then I got sidetracked again because I'm trying to look this guy up, right? And something else comes up about a Yasuke African samurai who was like the first, I don't know if he was the first black samurai, or it says mysterious African slave who became a legendary samurai. So then I had to, check that out, do it for the culture, whatever. And I don't know, I just got real sidetracked last night, and I'm going to keep looking up this guy to figure out, one, if he's real. I can't find, there's documents and stuff about him, but I don't know if they're legit. And then I kind of want to read into the black samurai guy, because that's pretty cool in my opinion. I feel like I'm rambling. Anyway, I will attempt to read I'm going to read the last story tonight, and I want to attempt to start Death Sweeper. I want to start Death Sweeper tonight. I might finish it. I don't know. It looks interesting. That's not a good picture, but I'll put one on the screen. Hey, Editor Dags, impose the real photo in here so it looks like it's actually on the screen. Can you do that? Let's find out. And I'm not saying that I'm getting sick. I'm just saying that I'm freezing and it doesn't make any sense. It is almost noon. I've slept most of the day away. Let me set you down. Can I set you down? Can I set you down while I heat up my breakfast, which is now, I guess, lunch? I don't know. I don't feel sick. I just don't feel right. Does that make sense? I did cook yesterday, and I forgot to bring you guys into the kitchen, but I made this yummy concoction. Listen, I don't even like Mexican food like that, and I don't like cooking like that, but it was fantastic. I have leftovers. The leftovers don't look that great, but you know, pretend it's there. It's not heated up all the way. I will definitely be making it again. I have plans to make, hold on. I'm coming. I had plans to make this yumminess today, but I just don't feel like cooking. It's also the day before Summerween is supposed to be over, and I think I still have 2 more series to read. Speaking of which, let me catch you up on the last story out of the Daichi joint, and then we need to talk. We need to talk about Death Sweeper. So like I said before, I thought the last story of the Daichi story was going to be my favorite, and by golly, was it. So it is about a sumo wrestler who headbutts people. He doesn't fight in the traditional sense. He's got a elongated dome. He looks like a cone head. He did it to himself because his head is the most powerful part of his body, strongest part of his body, right? It's so good. This is another one. This sauce. Look at this. I made this from scratch. Okay, I'm proud of myself. Anyway, this story is also set up to feel like it's supposed to be a real story. I'm almost pretty positive if it's not, and if it is, that man is just crazy for doing that to himself. It is by far my favorite read of that manga. I'm not gonna say I don't recommend it. It's all right. I have no interest in reading it again. But Death Sweeper, I'm enjoying Death Sweeper so much that I want to pick up the Japanese copies just so I can have them in my collection. Now, they only translated the scans up to the 3rd volume. There's 5 total, and I am so butthurt that I can't read the last 2 volumes. Hopefully someone is out there working on it because I really want to read it. This is about a boy who is coming to terms with his brother's suicide, and his way of coping with it is getting a job as I want to say with a crime scene cleanup crew, but they also they just clean up big nasty messes, mostly from death investigations. And I think what makes me so intrigued, once upon a time I thought that was a job that I was going to do. This before I got into criminal justice and crime scene technology and all that stuff. I was like, I could do that job. This is a morbidly beautiful story. It's dealing with grief. It's dealing with death, like head on. You know, you die, you decompose, and you go back to the earth. It is what it is. And it does not shy away from that. You get a little bit of education as far as decomposition and all that stuff. It also deals with the fallout of what you leave behind when you kill yourself, what you leave behind when you die, period. I don't know. I really enjoy this story. And it's not sappy. There are some sad moments. There are some heavy moments, but I don't know how they have managed to deal with such a topic and present it in such a way that it not only does it get the story across, and makes you think about things, but it doesn't feel heavy, if that makes sense. They're heavy topics. You're dealing with death, you're dealing with grief, you're dealing with suicide and self-harm, and not everybody that they're cleaning up behind has killed themselves. There are just regular murders. There's a hoarder that we go into. It's just, you know what? It reminds me of Ikigami. You're dealing with these different families. You're dealing with these different backstories. And you're just getting these character studies and seeing just the fallout of what happens after you leave this earth. It's so good. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to end up picking up the Japanese copies just so I can have them. I'm so sad that I can't read the last two. I think I'm just going to flip through them and see if I can figure out what's going on. And I think after I eat, I just sat here and heated up my food, and I'm not even eating. Mukbang time? Mukbang. Not really my thing, but I'm just so proud of myself. Anyway, I'm going to start Ibitsu today and then see where I'm at with that. And then I guess I need to figure out, because I still have Kudon whatever left and Signal 100. So I'm going to have to make an executive decision and figure out if I'm going to have time to read either one of those as well, or if we're going to end it on Ibitsu. But I will get back to you later with that. Good morning. So today's the last day of the vlog of Summerween, and I have to go to work. So I obviously did not complete my challenge. We're gonna go to Starbucks and cheat on this snack thing and find some caramel something, and we're gonna say that was our snack. I'm also going to semi-cheat and read the first couple of chapters of Ibitsu. Well, I started Ibitsu, but I haven't read enough to have anything to report back on. So I'm going to read the first couple of chapters of Ibitsu, Signal 100, and I'm missing one, Duma something or another, so I can give initial thoughts. You know, I want to tell y'all something. And then I will check in one more time tomorrow morning, because technically I still have 24 hours. So I'm gonna read a little bit at lunch. I'm gonna read a little bit this afternoon and talk to you guys in the morning, and we will wrap this thing up. couple of things. I am off today. 1, 2, it is my mother's birthday. 3, I forgot. But luckily she is at work, so I have time to run around the city and find something. I want to find some kind of like art kit. She's real into painting here lately. So we might be taking a trip to Books A Million to see if they have one of those little paint kit thingamabobs. I don't know what they're called. And yeah, also I need to give a final update. I'm supposed to be editing this vlog today so I can have it up and ready to go for you guys, but I haven't done that yet because I haven't filmed my final thoughts. But I can tell you that we have lots to talk about, and I was able to at least read the first volume of the remaining series that we haven't talked about yet. So I have 2 hours to kill before Books A Million opens. So I'm gonna go get me some breakfast and run by the storage shed, and then if that hasn't killed enough time, which it probably won't, I guess I can come back and try to give you some thoughts while we're driving around town. And if not, then I will give you my final thoughts eventually. We finna fight. I went to the Hobby Lobby to kill some time because Books A Million is not open yet, and I was like, you know what? You know who sells paint? Hobby Lobby. You know who has arts and crafts? Hobby Lobby. What y'all did not tell me is that Hobby Lobby has anime and manga stuff. So I set myself up for failure. I went in there to get some art supplies and came out with a freaking Haikyuu thing. So we're gonna open it up and see. It's like a little blind box thingy, I guess. This vlog has officially gone off the rails, and it is what it is. I still have 30 minutes before the Books A Million opens. This is sealed quite tight, so I have time to kill still. And I don't want to go back to the house just to turn around and come back out. So there we go. Look at him. Look at Kiyama. He's so angry. I love him. He's gonna go with my my Suki that Mara got me for Christmas. He's on my key ring, so you can't see it, but I'll insert a clip later. That's funny. But yeah, I walked in. I did get my mom an easel for her canvases. So, I kind of went in there and got something. I also found a puzzle for her. She likes puzzles too. So now I'm trying to figure out, do I really need to go to Books A Million? Because technically I got everything I needed. But I kind of want to go to Books A Million. But the Hobby Lobby, which I don't shop at ever. Like, Hobby Lobby was never on my radar. They just got a plethora of My Hero and Dragon Ball and Haikyuu. They even have Q pockets in there. What? So now I gotta stay out of the Hobby Lobby because I almost bought a Goku piggy bank. I don't need that. He was cute though. But yeah, I don't know what this vlog has become. It's still Summerween, but it's turned into some other stuff as well. And you know what? That's all good because your girl does not get out of the house often. So I guess here's a rare occasion to have something other than my bedroom in the vlog. So if I do opt to go to the Books A Million, I will maybe take y'all with me. Maybe. We'll see.
Later that day.
Y'all, I'm so mad at myself. Please excuse the plethora of dog hair in my back seat. Pretend like you don't see it. Listen, first of all, I don't go to Books A Million because I know, one, that my self-restraint is not that good, and two, I mean, they didn't really have what I used to go, and this was years and years and years and years ago, right? Well, they've remodeled since then, and I felt like, turn that down. I felt like a freaking kid in a candy store. I went in there to get this watercolor book from my mom, which I did. And then I was like, you know what, while I'm in here, there's a book that I have been looking for, you know, for poops and ha-has. Let's go see if they have it. So I'm looking through the fiction section, and they don't have it. And for those of you who don't know, I do read, you know, other like actual novels and stuff. So I'm just like, I can't go browsing because I will walk out of the store with 2 stacks of books. And y'all, Books A Million is high. Y'all know that. That ain't nothing new. And I hate buying books brand spanking new because they're expensive. But this is a new release, just like Mother, which I did pick up. But I'm looking through the fiction section and it's not in there. So I'm like, let me go up front and ask them if they have it, because if I start perusing, like I said, I'm going to pick up some shit I don't need. So I asked them, and they're like, oh yeah, it's back in the horror section. Didn't know they had a horror section. I figured it would be with the mysteries, because the last time I went there, fiction, mystery, and horror and thriller were all one big old section. Well, guess what, guys? It's not anymore. So I go to the back where it is, which beside the YA section, which is so odd to me that they have all this YA stuff, and then there's the horror section right beside it. You would think it would be with the mysteries or whatnot, but it too. I go back there in this darkened corner, and I find the book, but in order to get to that section, I have to pass the manga section. Now, I'm like, I'm not going to go over there because I already know what's going to happen, right? So I don't. I was going to go in there just to, you know, get some B-roll for this wonderful little vlog. But there's these 4 guys there, and that's enough for me to be like, nope, not filming. So then I'm looking at the like the end of the shelves. I'm not going down the aisles, but you know how they have the, I guess they're called shelf caps or whatever they're called. And I'm looking at the displays, and all I hear is Vinland Saga, Peak Fiction, Watakoi, also peak fiction. And I'm like, there is no way in hell this conversation is happening in real life. So I walk away because I can't keep a straight face. So I go back to the little horror section, pick up my book, and they have all this Junji Ito stuff back there. They have all this Cruella de Vil stuff. Not Cruella, Ursula, who is my favorite Disney character, which did not help, because I'm like, okay, if I stop and look, I'm going to pick something up. They had this Ursula mug that I wanted. They had all this Junji Ito stuff that I wanted. And then I look, and there's this Promised Neverland section, and I forget that I'm in public, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's no way. People looking at me like, who is she talking to? I know I look crazy. They have this Promised Neverland. It's like a metal water tin. Y'all, I was so close to getting it. So close to getting it. I have a problem. I had to get up at that store because I felt like a whole crackhead fiending for books and merchandise. I did cave, and I got a ghetto little figurine, which I didn't need, but y'all know he's my favorite character from JJK. Well, one of my favorite characters from JJK. So I picked that up, and anyway, $100 later, we're going home. I did find a cake. I don't know if I said earlier I was looking for, well, not a cake, a pie. I was looking for a key lime pie because that's my mom's favorite, and I did find one. It took me 5 stops, but damn it, I found one, and hopefully it tastes good, because I'm going to feel terrible if it doesn't. I've never been to this little bakery before, didn't know it existed, but they were the only one that had one, and it looks good. But I don't eat key lime pie, so I can't be the judge of if it was good or not. But I am headed home. When I get settled, I will finally come to y'all with the last clip for this vlog and tell you about what do we got? Judan no Gotashi, I think. I don't remember what it's called. The haunted spirit comedy one. and then Signal 100, and there's something else that we need to talk about. It would help if I had it in front of me, but I don't. So I will see y'all in that clip. Toodaloo. The lawn has been mowed, and look how happy these little birds are. Look at them. They're just hopping along, living their best life. Listen, I'm here though. This is completely random, but I feel the need to share this with someone, and I have no one to share this with. So maybe one of y'all watching this can feel this moment with me. Listen, so I'm driving down the street. I made it home. I haven't gone inside yet, but I have this playlist of Lord knows how many songs that I have cultivated since my high school days, that I just put songs that I absolutely love on, right? So I listen to it when I'm just cruising around town and, you know, feeling myself or whatever. And Dynamite by BTS comes on. And I'm like, oh snap, that reminds me, I need to add Butter to this playlist, right? So I go to add Butter to the playlist, and I accidentally click on a different song, and now that I'm talking about it, I think it's called Left and Right. I'll have to double check, because my mind is just blown by this freaking song. I guess I'm a BTS fan now. Like, I'm scared to go down this rabbit hole, because I know how the BTS stans are, but I won't talk about y'all, because, you know. Okay, a couple of things before I go on this rant about this song. First and foremost, it is not a BTS song. It is a Charlie Puth song featuring one of the members of BTS. Why didn't I know that? Because I didn't read it before I listened to the song, and because it was on the BTS page. So, you know, it's not my fault, but it is my fault for not paying attention. Secondly, I've come to realize that I've never seen a BTS music video. So when I got in the house, I watched the video for Left and Right, and it was not my favorite thing in the world, but I did see a couple of other BTS videos, and let me just say that I apologize for the previous statement that I said about the BTS fans. I get it. I understand. It's NSYNC, okay? It's Backstreet Boys, it's Pretty Ricky, it's B2K. I get it. They are precious little boys. I probably shouldn't say that because that can be taken out of context, but they are just adorable looking little people, and they seem like they just are living their best life. Permission to Dance has now become a guilty pleasure music video, and I love it so much. Also, didn't know that one of the members was all pierced up. I guess he's the lead singer. I don't know who's who, but they are just too adorable. And yeah, I think I'm in love with all 20 members. Anyway, even though this technically isn't a BTS song, but it is a song featuring BTS, Eargasm is an eargasm regardless of who gives it to you, and it is still a banger, and you need to go listen to it ASAP. It is what it is. Anyway, I love the production of this song, and I listened to it 3 times back to back. And you know that feeling when you find a song that you've never heard of and you hear it for the first time? That made no sense. Obviously, you never heard of it. It will be your first time hearing it. Listen, I am amazed by this song because there's a line, actually it's the chorus, it's like, I can hear you over here and I can hear you over there, but they play with the speakers. It's one of those songs that you have to listen to on headphones, with headphones the first time you listen to it, because I don't have words. I'm speechless by this song. It just makes me feel happy. But the sound bounces between the speakers. You can hear it in the car. And it plays very well through the car speakers. However, I would recommend listening to it with headphones the first time you hear it. I'm going to go inside and see if it sounds the same on my computer speakers. I'm sure it does, but it won't give me the same effect. But I am just in amazement. I don't know. There's something about hearing a banger for the first time and getting excited. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I mean? Not manga related, but I had to share that I am in love with this song. I don't know if it's old. I don't know if it's new. I just know that I accidentally clicked on it, and now I'm tempted to go down the BTS rabbit hole and see what I've been missing all these times. Okay, let's go inside and talk about manga now. All right, we've made it back to our usual setup. Look at my baby. Look at him. He's so... We match. It was meant to be. Okay, don't judge my purchases. Don't judge my purchases. I know I was supposed to be buying things for my mom, and I did. I just bought something for myself too. You know, self-care, self-love, that's also important. Look at him. Oh no, it's a set. I didn't even look at the side of the box. Hold on, let me get him out. Like butter. Oh, it's 2 pieces. How precious. I'm being obnoxious. I'm sorry. Look at his little flat self. How precious is he? I love it. Twerk some. Twerk some. Okay. Let me stop. I thought it was 1 piece. No pun intended. But it's 2. And he's just sitting on top of his box. He's not very stable. I gotta find somewhere to put him. How precious! And apparently there's 3 of them. They only had him in the store, but Lord, I was finna say Kakashi. That is not his name. They also have why am I trying to call him Kakashi? Gojo and Kinto here, so I might have to be on the lookout for them too. But I don't need to, because he costs the price of a couple of books. But he's precious. I love that. Oh, my little buddy. I gotta find somewhere to stick him. He'll probably go up here with Batman and Goku. And then, just like Mother, is the book that I picked up for myself. Now that we have talked about everything but manga, let's finally wrap up this vlog and talk about the last 4 that I read. Obitsu is about this, I don't know if she's an actual person yet, because I've only read volume 1, and that'll be the case for 3 of the 4 that we're getting ready to talk about. But so far, she's this creepy Lolita chick who is stalking this boy. Apparently, she's part of an urban legend, and all she wants is a little brother. And she goes up to people, men, boys, and it's like, do you have a little sister? And if they say yes, she kills the little sister because she wants to be the little sister. And if they say no, then she starts stalking them, and I don't know. It's weird. It's creepy. It's not scary in the sense of horror. It's pretty straightforward there, but it is unsettling. So there's this one scene that made me realize that we were dealing with a psycho where she is following this girl, and the girl is terrified and she wets herself. And the girl, the Lolita creepy chick, is like, oh, you wet yourself. Let me help you clean yourself up. And pulls out a freaking iron and proceeds to try to iron up. She tries to dry the girl's underwear while they are still on her body with the iron, if you get my drift. What? It's creepy. It's weird. I plan on finishing it for sure because I definitely want to see where it goes. And apparently it is in English somewhere, so I didn't know that. So I'm going to go out and buy that one. Even though, I mean, the translation wasn't bad at all. It's pretty straightforward. You know, some translations you read and you can tell that it just doesn't feel right. You know, it doesn't flow quite right. But this seems to be, in my opinion, pretty good. Now, Kudon no Gotoshi is about a group of college kids who are coming back from a trip down a dark road. We all know the scene. It's dark, it's twisty, they get lost, the GPS takes them down some narrow way. Something jumps out in front of them on the road and they veer off and crash the car. The thing that jumps out in front of them is a cow. Not just any cow, a cow with a human face. They're freaked out, so they start beating it because it's not dead. I think it's injured, and I want to believe that they're killing it to put it out of its misery because it's hurt. Is that the actual case? I'm not quite sure. So they're freaking out because this is also a rental car. So they go to take the rental car back the next day, and there's nothing wrong with the car. It's completely fine. So they're like, are we tripping? Did this not really happen? And then one by one, these children are getting visions of this cow human hybrid thing plaguing their dreams and basically telling them to unalive themselves. Now, this one is also unsettling. I don't like this cow thing. Apparently it's a yokai. That's as far as I've gotten in the first volume. And we're already losing people left and right. It's definitely a thriller. And I definitely plan on finishing that one as well. Now I gotta pull up the title of this next one because it's so long and I don't want to get it wrong. The Strongest Haunted House and the Guy with No Spiritual Sense is a horror comedy. More comedy than horror. It's about this guy who finds this house for rent for free, and it's like, that's a steal. What's the issue? Well, apparently the house is haunted and no one wants to live there. So he has literally no spiritual sense. So all the spookiness that's going on around him in the house, he has a reasoning for why it's going down, and it doesn't faze him at all. So the ghost is getting mad and is like, yo, I'm a scary ghost. You gonna put some respect on my name, and is trying her damnedest to terrify this boy, and it's not happening. It's very cute. It's very funny. The chapters are mad short. I mean, super short, so you can fly through it. Am I going to finish it? Maybe. I think it's still an ongoing series from what I can tell. It's just fun. It's just a really cute, fun story, but it's mildly episodic. I don't know. I would pick it up for a light, fun read if, I had nothing else going on. But am I dying to finish it? Not really. But I do recommend it. It's very cute, very nice. Now, the best of the four, Signal 100. Y'all, I got sidetracked when I started Signal 100, and I read a little bit past the first volume, and I was like, you know what, if I'm going to get this finished in a timely manner, I'm going to have to come back to it. I have every intention on finishing this series. This is a death game, so to speak, survival series. Side note, I'm coming to realize that this might be my favorite genre of manga, because I love this. What I've read so far, I loved. And coming off of the backs of, I read Borderland a couple weeks ago, and Battle Royale being my favorite manga, I'm coming to terms with, I just love this category of animated literature. But anyway, this is about a group of classmates, and they just, not the whole class, but a good chunk of the class is bullying their teacher. Just unrelentless bullying of this man. So he decides to hypnotize them, and by some convoluted explanation, they are now all under some form of hypnosis, and they are now a part of this Signal 100 game. So the way it works is there are 100 signals to initiate one's wanting to kill themselves. I don't know how to put this in a functioning sentence. There are 100 different signals, and no one knows what they are but the teacher, right? So if you do something that is a signal, you kill yourself. For example, if you sneeze, and if that's one of the signals, congratulations, you're now suicidal and you're about to kill yourself. Also, after the teacher tells them what's going on, he promptly kills himself. So they can't get unhypnotized. They can't get out of the game. Pretty early on, so I won't consider this a spoiler. Pretty early on, you learn that one of the signals is telling someone outside of the classroom what's going on. So you can imagine the panic these poor children are having, because they can't ask for outside help. The guy that can revert them back to the way things are supposed to be is dead. So they're having to figure out what these 100 signals are. Also, in order to survive, you have to be the last person standing. Only one person's getting out of this alive. It's such a thriller. It is such a thriller. You don't, because you don't know what to expect. You don't know what the signals are, and you're seeing these people, like most survival stories, they are breaking up into little factions. They're turning their backs on each other. There's secret alliances. It's just so good. It's so gory. It's such a nice read. This is another one that the translation is pretty immaculate. I need this as a English physical release. This, just like freaking Death Sweeper, I need it in my collection, and I am so tempted to just get the Japanese version, because I think there's only 5 volumes. It might be 4, I'm not sure, but so far it's phenomenal, and I have every intention on finishing this series because I need to know where this is going to go. High stakes, high stress, I don't know. And the artwork, did I talk about the artwork? The artwork is just fantastic. Anyway, if you have made it this far in the video, let me know down below what your favorite pick of this Summerween vlog was. Or if you have any horror recommendations for me that I can get access to. Obviously outside of the Junji Itos and the, the mainstream stuff, let me know down below so I can check it out. And I will see you guys next week. Bye.